My name is Kaela Vecchia-Zeitz, and my senior project is called SWEAR, and it stands for Stand With Everyone Against Rape. And so the whole idea of SWEAR is that it's having male leaders in the school spread the message about the epidemic of rape and sexual assault. So I first backtrack, I learned about this through lovely Amy Lillavois, who Peg Regan mentioned it to about, and we were like, what is this? We were searching online, we kind of found a website, and we were trying to get contact information, we couldn't really figure it out, so we started emailing Barbara and Heather Unruh, who are the founders of SWEAR, and yeah, so the whole philosophy of it is that 98% of rapes are perpetrated by men, so why is the blame falling on women there's the whole idea of protecting ourselves, but really the issue is that 98% of men are rapists, or 98% of rapes are perpetrated by men, only 2% of men are rapists, but that other 98% that isn't are bystanders. So the whole idea is that male leaders in the school are the ones that are spreading this message to the rest of their peers. So how we started was picking 15 junior boys. I found some pretty great ones, very mature, they took the content really seriously, and I decided to add 2 girls to that mix so that there was the idea of collaboration and that there was a female voice as well, but most of the information was coming from male voices to really show the message that this is a men's issue as well as a women's issue. So did that back in February. Amy and I got teacher recommendations. We met with them, with the 15 boys. They had no idea what the project was, but all the parent permission slips came back within 2 days. They all seemed very excited. And so the next step was planning the training. And we were looking online at the SWEAR website, and there wasn't really a training for the SWEAR leadership team. That's what we came to call it. And so Amy and I and my mentor from Connect to End Violence, Heather Arpin, who has been very helpful in this entire process, we got together and we were like, okay, we were watching videos that they had on their website, trying to pause it, see wait, what is written down there? We didn't really have anything to go off of. So along with Connect to End Violence, they had this program called Mentors in Violence Prevention, MVP. And it's a training curriculum that they use to train some of their volunteers. And so we pulled a lot of stuff from that. And the whole idea of the training day was to have these 15 boys and 2 girls feel passionate about what they're going to be educating their peers about. And so we were planning that through March and April. We had it all laid out, and the actual training was on Wednesday, April 27th. We have 3 of our boys right there, one in the back, and then that's the whole group, along with Mr. Niego, who is our male teacher facilitator, who's been great in all of this. And so on Wednesday, April 27th, we were at Alex's place. Tony Lombardi was very generous. He had everything set up for us. We got to play videos, and so the whole idea was to make these 15 boys and 2 girls educated and really know about rape and sexual assault, how big of an issue it is, and to be engaged and excited to teach this to the rest of their school. So we went through statistics, which can be really they can be upsetting, but they took them with maturity, and we did exercises with gender roles, so how gender roles can affect stereotypes of women and men, and that can lead to sexual assault because there's lots of different words that people use, and it can make it so women are seen as more objects than people, and that can be a huge play into sexual assault. And we did this activity called Close Your Eyes, which personalizes rape and sexual assault. And we actually did that at the assembly last Friday, so I'll talk about that later. And by the end of the day, I was expecting them to be, like interested, but they're all so engaged and so excited about planning this assembly and teaching it to their peers, and that meant so much to me that I wasn't the only one that's like trying to teach this to everyone, that like I had a support, and it was like a team effort. So that happened on Wednesday, April 27th, and for the next 3 weeks, month or so, we planned the assembly. So I have a little mock-up. What we kind of wrote down, that was actually at the training where we started planning ideas. We had a couple meetings, we had a rehearsal even. And so we decided that we definitely wanted to teach, we decided on a junior and senior assembly. We were thinking about sophomores, but with planning, it was just easier for juniors and seniors. We definitely wanted the seniors to get this information before leaving on the way to college. I don't know if any of you have seen the hunting ground, but it shows the absolute craziness of rape and sexual assault that is happening in college campuses. So we wanted that to get to the seniors, and we wanted the juniors to get educated as well, because they're going to be the leaders in the school next year, and they will be the ones that might be involved next year, I swear. So we decided to definitely teach the juniors and seniors about the statistics, because those are really, they're powerful, and they really show how much of a problem this really is. And after that, we decided to do Close Your Eyes, which was the activity we did in the training, which just really, it really makes rape and sexual assault something that is, it's an activity that makes it so it's close to home, and that it's not just some far-off statistic that it can happen to anybody. And then part of what SWARE has done in the past, we're only the second school to have implemented this program. The first was at Dover Sherborne High School, and so part of what they did, they had a passion speaker come, a girl that had been raped, and that talks about her rape and deals with her trauma through talking to people about it and educating people. So they had someone different, but we had a girl come, her name is Julia, and she is a junior in high school now. She was raped her sophomore year of high school, and she came, she was incredibly strong. I'll talk about that a little bit later too. But yeah, so we definitely had those 3 things planned out in the assembly. And the day before the assembly, we had a teacher training for the advisories after the assembly, because we didn't want the kids to just late Friday, just have them go off and be dealing with all this information and not being able to discuss it. So we set those up, thanks to Mr. Burgoyne and Amy and Ms. Bennett, lots of planning and different rooms and who would be which teachers and all the groups. So we had a training for them, set up like a paper on what talking points and how to discuss these topics, because it can be hard, it can be upsetting, and we wanted kids to be able to speak about it in a safe environment. So after that, we actually had the assembly on Friday, May 20th. So that was last Friday, and it was amazing. It couldn't have gone better. And so we did what I said. We had a slideshow, which the boys and 2 girls and myself went through, and it was kind of like set up in a quiz way. So people were asked a question, and they thought about it in their head, and then we would give them the answer. So it was all the statistics set up that way. You could close your eyes, and then Julia came, and she was amazing. She's only 17, and she is so mature. People thought she was in college, and she spoke so well about what happened to her and what we can do to make it better in the future. So I actually have a couple videos from the assembly that I'll show you.
Is this going to continue to be done in the future, like at events such as MVRHS?
Yeah, it's going to be like race culture or peer outreach, where it's happening yearly. And there's a, yeah. Okay. the whole idea of swear is that, so this is, all of these people have taken this swear pledge, and we hope that all of you will sign the pledge as well, starting next week. So,
I swear to not make any disrespectful jokes or comments about rape or sexual assault, or stand idly by while another does so.
I swear to never commit the act of rape, sexual assault, or domestic violence against another, or stand by while another attempts to.
I swear to protect those who are in a vulnerable state and are unable to protect themselves.
I swear to never use drugs, alcohol, or any other substance to take advantage of a person sexually.
right, so please repeat after us. From this point on, I swear to stay true to this pledge, to stand with everyone against rape. And then, so that's... Thank you. Now we have an activity. So that was the pledge that we had everyone say after the statistics. And then, as you can see, we actually have the pledge board that everyone signed throughout this week. And so yeah, it just really makes it so people are actually signing this and taking the pledge. And then this is just a clip of Julia, her final words of her speech. So you don't have my back. Finally, I want to say that if there's anyone here today that either knows or thinks they may be a victim of sexual assault, please do not suffer in silence. Get help. There are so many people that will help you more than you even know, and that surprised me. If you don't know who to talk to, you can talk to me. You come up to me after this, I'll give you my phone number, I'll give you my email. I swear, I've done it before. What I want everyone to leave the room with today, if nothing else, is that rape is a huge problem in the world we live in, and it's not a college problem. It's a problem that starts way before that. It's a problem that's often handled in the wrong way. And as tacky as it is, as the future of this country, it's up to us to change this, to make the changes so that all of your mothers, sisters, aunts, cousins, girlfriends, and the girls you know feel safe living their lives. Thank you. Okay, so that was just a portion of Julia's speech. What she said and Q&A took about half the assembly, and that's what I really wanted, because she was a person that kids could connect with, and the questions after, even in the advisories, everyone was saying how much they connected with her, and how she really just showed the issue in a way that was real, but also positive, because the way she deals with her trauma is through educating people, and it's our job to take that information and spread it to the rest of the world, and to make a difference in this epidemic. So that was pretty much the gist of the assembly and advisories after. And then, so this was the pledge that everyone took, and that's up there. And so this whole SWEAR is a program that was started at Dover-Sherborne High School, as I said. And right here, this picture is next to me is Barbara Riley and her daughter Jackie. And it was actually started, SWEAR was started last year because Jackie was, she was raped at college, and she found that there wasn't any help for her at college. People just were really ignorant to, like, she was getting blamed for a lot of, for what happened, and so Barbara started SWEAR along with her friend Heather Unruh, who is actually a news journalist, and SWEAR was featured on Chronicle last year. And so what Barbara did this year was that she met with the Lieutenant Governor of Massachusetts, and she had a meeting with this woman about how we can make programs like SWEAR and even SWEAR itself be a mandated state curriculum for all schools. And so they're working on that. The Lieutenant Governor was actually wanting to come to this today, but the scheduling didn't work out, and we weren't able to get in touch. So, but she is very interested in SWARE and it being on Martha's Vineyard and at Dover Sherwood High School. So that's exciting that might be happening. And for next year, as Oliver asked, SWARE is going to be, it's going to be a program that's going to be at MVRHS yearly. So next year we'll have the junior boys that were participating this year, and Julia and Danielle, 2 girls, they'll be leaders next year, and they will help train the uprising juniors and maybe the rising sophomores. So that's going to continue, and more and more people will be educated. And I created this right here as a picture of like the curriculum of the training of the assembly for next year, revisions, just like a little binder guide. I actually have it for you guys if you want to see it. Yeah, so that's what I have to show you guys. And I'm going to invite whoever's here that are this part of the SWARE leadership team to come up here, please. These are, okay, so these are 11 of the 17, it's pretty good. And I know that a few of you were up for sharing your experience. Dave, you want to begin?
All of you know me, maybe. I don't know where to begin. I mean, it was such a great experience to be, well, first off, be chosen by the faculty and, be recommended to be part of this. It was just an honor, and I was really psyched about it when they told me. And then just to be part of the whole, the training was an amazing experience. I think it brought us all closer together. I mean, half of these kids I don't really talk to on a normal basis, and I used to talk to some of these kids. I mean, me, Doug, Dylan, Julia, Danielle, and Cody, and probably all of us used to go to OB, and we're all close friends. And then sort of we got here into the high school, and then everything, changes, and we have different classes, and we sort of lose contact with each other. And then this program sort of, I feel like, brought us closer together. And then actually being able to plan an assembly and tell everybody about this problem and try to educate you guys about what we've been educated was just, I don't know, it was like a pleasure. It felt awesome, actually. And then just meeting Julia, who was the guest speaker, she was just so kind and so brave to share her story. It was just, I don't know, everything was just amazing. It felt great to be part of it.
So,
Yeah. So it's open to questions. You guys can stay up here if you want to answer questions. If you want to or not. But yeah, so Anthony?
What's the question, or what's the difference between sexual assault and rape?
I mean, rape, what I usually think of it is having sexual intercourse, but I actually learned that isn't necessarily true. Someone better to answer that might be Heather. It's complicated, but yeah.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. So rape is a form of sexual assault, and when we talk about sexual assault happening, it's anything that is sexual in nature, and the person who experiences it gets to define what's sexual in nature against their consent. Rape, we talk about specifically there being some kind of penetration of that person. Yeah.
So sexual assault can be even harassment. There's lots of different forms, and it's really what the person is feeling, and that's what decides it.
Could you say what the numbers are that was told to the auditorium on Friday? The 1 in 4 and 1 in 7?
Yeah.
Just to let know how bad.
1 in 4 women have experienced sexual assault other than rape. So that's 50%. And 1 in 7 women have experienced actual rape, and that is 14%. So these statistics that's what really is the driving force behind SWEAR. And I think that message was relayed to the auditorium pretty well. Valley's guys.
First, a comment. What an amazing legacy to leave behind for the school, you know, and to take a senior project and to have, something that you started and created is just awesome. So good job on that.
Thank you.
And can you just talk a little bit more about maybe the connection that you have between this and Connect? And
Yeah, of
maybe
course.
the future stuff with that?
Yeah, I meant to kind of mention this, but I have mentored with Connect since July of 2015. So I was there and I really didn't know anything about domestic or sexual violence. I didn't even think it really happened, like so many people. And so I learned so much in like the next 6 months. And so that really was a really good foundation for me. And then I formed a great relationship with Heather, and I asked her to be my mentor throughout all of this. So really, like, I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have Connect, because we really created a training. It was super collaborative. Like, it wasn't just me. Like, there was so much that we, like the close your eyes activity, the gender role stuff, like that was from the MVP curriculum. So we actually are thinking about suggesting to SWEAR, and we already kind of did, that they should, and because I think there's 12 schools in the fall that are going to be implementing SWEAR, and we suggested that they should reach out to their local domestic or sexual violence counseling center and form a relationship with them so that they're able to collaborate. And I felt like it just made the program so much better that we had all that information and all that knowledge. Dylan?
Do you plan on doing something like this when you go to college?
Yeah, I'm going to NYU Silver School of Social Work, so it's pretty much the pre-professional program dedicated to social work. And I mean, there's lots of different things you can do with that, but I think I definitely want to work with domestic and sexual violence survivors. I feel like once I've gotten involved, I just feel like I can't really go back. So, and I really enjoy doing it as well.
What is Close Your Eyes?
Yes, Close Your Eyes is an activity that Heather leads, and everyone closes their eyes and she asks questions. I have the binder with me. I can just say the statements. And the whole idea is to personalize. And we did this at the training, and then we also did it at the assembly. And so everyone closes their eyes, and it's a visualization exercise. And so it starts off, picture in your mind the woman you care about the most. Your mother, your girlfriend, your sister, your grandmother, your aunt, or female friend. And then the next step is that you visualize this, the most loved woman in your life, and then you visualize someone assaulting her. And then the next step is someone's assaulting her and there's a bystander. And so it's that whole idea of there's a person assaulting, and then there's also the bystander, and the bystander isn't doing anything. They either are watching, not doing anything, or walk away. And so after those statements, you open your eyes, and at the assembly, we had questions, and we were like, how did that make you feel? And so then it's a discussion, and it's about how did you feel towards the person assaulting, how did you feel towards the bystander, and it's the whole idea that also there's an issue of people that are bystanding, and it's of course the perpetrator, but also it's up to all of us to stop that person and to educate people to not think that's okay to do something like that.
So looking at that, and again, I think kind of echoing what Matt said, this is a fantastic program to bring to the school, and I think it's really astonishing that you had, this interest the vision and the ability to see it through to a final project, which is a testament to you as individuals. But what has been done in the past in other programs about understanding and kind of getting at that silent majority, the people, because, those people, those bystanders, because if this is a program you're going to continue, how would you like to see those programs focus on the silent majority, the kids that aren't going to,
Yeah, well, even at the training, we talked about bystander intervention, but Amy and I were talking, and we even wanted to talk about it more, because especially at parties, it's a huge issue. Even at the high school level, it's having the courage and to stand up to a peer or even someone you don't know, or have someone else get someone. So I think for next year we want to make that more of a part of it. I mean, do you mean like what kind of programs there are
yeah,
in the
like
school?
what did you learn from other schools? Because I even see it as what if there's 17 men and 2 women,
Yeah.
will eventually a male run this?
Yeah.
Which could
Yeah.
kind of turn
Yeah,
on.
well, that's the idea, I think, for next year, is that these will be the people that are running it. So they're going to be the ones that are laying this message off to kids that are younger than them, and generally there's an inclination to look up to someone that's older than you, and that's kind of the whole idea that,
Andy, part of the idea behind this whole program is that it's peer-to-peer. So it's very similar to peer outreach and race culture, where we train these guys this year, and then a handful of them will be the student leaders next year and do what Jason had done again. So it'll just repeat, and then next year's juniors and their seniors will lead a junior team with it until it spreads. And as far as other schools are concerned, we're only the second school in the state.
Right, there's no model really.
No, I mean, there was what they did at Dover Sherborne, but they only had 4 junior boys do it. And we chose 17, they're like, oh, that's a lot. We were like, yeah. I mean, yeah, so there was definitely things that we needed, we weren't really sure about, we were just like, well, we're supposed to do it.
What about across the country? I mean, what is
I actually don't really, I haven't researched it that much. I mean, I don't want to assume anything, but I don't think it's a state curriculum anywhere, or really, I mean, there probably are some programs in parts of the country, but I can't say that it's
Yeah, but I don't think so. I think that what they're trying to do is one of the first programs in the country, and like Kaela was saying, the day before one of our conference calls, they've been at the State House meeting with the Lieutenant Governor about trying to make this, institute this in curriculums across the state in high schools. So what they're doing, which is, Kaela's not quite done yet, because there's a post-survey that we're still waiting to get. A post-survey that we have to give out, just so they can start collecting data, and then next year they'll do a pre-survey and a post-survey. And then they're just, the next couple of years, collecting a lot of data to get the backing at the State House level to implement this in other schools.
I just want to say something to the boys. As someone from another generation, probably your mother's or your grandparents' generations, I'm very, very proud of you for being a part of this and standing up. Because in my generation, it was always a girl's problem. So it's very wonderful to see you young men taking a stand. My comprehension.
So speaking to Matt and Andy's point about your legacy of this project here at the high school, I want to also congratulate you on the impact that all these folks here and the entire student body will have as they move forward into adulthood, and what this can spread. So congratulations there. In leading this group, what did you learn as far as your skills go as a leader, and what you might apply when you go to NYU and doing similar work?
I think learning to not say what I want when I want, not to be, obviously not to be rude, but if I want something done, to have it be done. Because I mean, part of being a leader is telling people what to do and how to do it, obviously in a positive, progressive way. So I think in the beginning I was like, I don't know, I don't want to be like bossy or something, but I think hopefully I relayed the message to them that I'll respect them a lot, but that like things had to get done and to show up and to take it seriously. So yeah, I think that was the learned. No? Cindy?
I had a thought. First of all, it's such a, it's a great, I really congratulate all of you. It's incredibly moving and it is, it's really like a gift to the community and the school. I just had a thought because when you talk about bystanders, I was thinking about our current election and how we have a leader who assaults, a leader of the Republican Party, who's running, who pretty much assaults women on a daily basis. And I think, it's possible, there's room maybe in this program to look at, larger cultural, assaults on women.
Yeah.
And sort of apply that and just really encourage all of you to vote.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean,
take action that way too.
even how so much of sexual assault involves how women are talked about and how they're viewed, and we talked about like not trying to eradicate negative derogatory terms and objectifying women, especially even with when a politician will say something like that, like that's not okay, that is adding to the problem. And in media too, we talked about how women are displayed as like sex objects, and that also contributes to the problem. So it's all connected, and it's definitely a huge part of it.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning one more time that the film festival last year did that, the hunting ground. And I know they showed it at the high school here, but I don't know if they showed it to everyone.
They showed it to the seniors, yeah.
Just the seniors, but I strongly recommend it because it's such a bad situation on college campuses that, how many schools, hundreds, major colleges are under investigation under Title IX, which is to give equal rights to women, because their rights for safety are not equal to men on campuses, and it's horrifying to us. I mean, we had no idea this was going on. And I think of myself as pretty educated, so that's something I hope the school can show that every year.
Well, I think Heather from Connect, she's one that collaborated with the MV Film Festival to bring it. So I think they're going to try to do that every year, right? Yeah.
And the women that put that together were amazingly strong. They were at the film festival and they interviewed and were really amazing.
Any other questions?
I just want to say thank you to you for leading us in such a good way. And Anna, you opened our eyes in a really deep but good way. And just, yeah, I look at things differently.